It's live. Good evening and welcome to viewers for an amazing conversation being conducted by the Eternal Quest and Westland Books in collaboration with CII, Confederation of Indian Industry and Young Indians, and Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University, SNS School Tirupur, and Dai Vyap Celestial and Sai Business Club invite you to a conversation with Dr. Natwar Sharma, author of Metaphors of Memory. I am Rajesh, entrepreneur and international speaker. I'm also serving as a chairman for entrepreneurship vertical in Young Indians Amaravati. Young Indians is a movement for Indian youth to converge, lead, co-create, and influence India's future. YI is playing a proactive role in India's development process. And today's guest, Dr. Natwar Sharma, is an associate professor in pediatrics and pediatric critical care at Savita Medical College Hospital in Chennai. He is currently on a sabbatical in Kuwait. Sharma is a member of Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health UK and also has served and trained at the Apollo Hospitals in Chennai. He is a certified member of Earth Association for Regression Therapy and a certified teacher of transpersonal regression therapy. He has been presenting his research work at the World Congress for Regression Therapy since 2011. A trainer of the heartfulness system of meditation. Dr. Sharma is currently pursuing a PhD to study the effects of meditation on the body, mind, brain, heart, and aura. Let's welcome Dr. Natwar Sharma. Hello, Dr. Natwar Sharma. Welcome you to the show. How are you doing?
Good evening, Rajesh. Thanks for the nice introduction. I'm doing well. Looking forward for a nice discussion.
Wonderful to hear that. And I want to really ask, to start with the basic thing, right? The title and the cover page of the book, Metaphors of Memory, is a very unique thing itself. I mean, can you tell us more about it? The very idea of memory and metaphors.
So, when I was treating my client in the initial days, so we basically are retrieving memories from the past that could be current life or a past life. And these memories were associated with metaphors or analogies. For example, when a person is dying and carries a strong feeling and thought that my husband or my father or my relative who's supposed to love me is hurting me. So what does it mean? Somebody supposed to protect me is hurting me. And this person manifests as an autoimmune disorder later, wherein the white blood cells in my body, which are supposed to protect me, are actually hurting me. So how a metaphor or an analogy or a simile can actually transform into a disease when it comes in association with the memory that holds on. So,
this is very interesting. Yeah. Please go ahead.
And how basically thoughts and emotions lie behind producing disease in the cells. So I have coined a term called psychocytopathology, how the psyche affects the cell, cyto, and causes pathology in it or disease in it. So when there is a feeling and an emotion along with an experience that you go through, you form a mental postulate or a mental program that keeps going on and on. So and sometimes when it goes on for longer, it may manifest as a physical disease in the body.
And when you're saying this, you can really kind of cure this entire thing in that process. I mean, is it really possible to access that, like you said, the subconscious, you really need to go to that patterns and then unlock and then create some kind of a cure. Is it really possible to do that?
Yeah. So the whole book is about this. How do we unlock these patterns? So number one, we need to access subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is only a small part, but a huge part is the subconscious mind, and it stores memories from your current life, in the mother's womb, or a past life too. And when we go into the trance state, we are able to access these memories. as if you have a hard drive in a computer, you have several files in it, you just keep storing it, it is not showing. But when you enter the folder, when you open the file, and you want to choose a particular thing, a memory like a photograph, for example, 2001 September, on 12th, I took pictures in Dubai. So let me access it. Similarly, the mind has a similar hardware where you can actually access those memories. And it's so beautiful how mind takes you to the particular memory that is actually affecting you in the current. It's so amazing. It always amazes me.
I mean, what you're saying is we can really go back and access all those files, which means whatever, I mean, that puts me into a really very important aspect. I'm actually having goosebumps now, right? So, whatever is created in this lifetime, is it also possible, just like you said, right? We have the memory slots. Is it possible to carry it forth, to the next life and it can affect us?
Yes. So now any trauma should be significant enough to cross a threshold where it registers inside you. See, when you are moving in a day's time, you may hit the wall gently, you may, get a little hurts and all that. You don't remember. But when it crosses certain threshold, it creates a memory. For example, you're driving on the road and it's not your fault. One guy comes and hits you, and after hitting you, he doesn't apologize to you. Rather, he comes to slap you because
Hmm.
he's more powerful. And that makes you feel badly hurt. First, you have physical trauma. Second, you're going through emotional trauma. Third, you are in a mental frame which is very, very hurtful. So, such events, they get registered. So, when I
Hmm.
scratch, this doesn't register unless I scratch it deeply. And this
Hmm.
depth depends upon what kind of threshold the individual has. Having said that, will it go into the next life? It's difficult to say because as of today, I carry trauma from so many lifetimes. But if all the traumas of those lifetime open up in this lifetime, I'll go crazy. So what
Hmm.
actually happens in this lifetime? There is, for example, I have seeds inside me. That seed germinates in a particular environment. So that trauma that's stored inside me, it can get triggered by an incident that happens in the current life, and then the seed sprouts and starts becoming bigger and bigger. So that's why I mentioned the book. Even the wars which happened 1,000 years ago can still live within a person in the form of migraine or a trauma or a fear. So it may be next life or next lifetimes, but you definitely cannot say will it germinate in the next lifetime? Difficult to say. But yes, it might.
But how do we actually kind of, I mean, like you said, all the past life, if at all, if it kind of comes to us, it will be crazy because every life itself has so many nightmares. But how do we actually get over it if at all something is carrying me? I was part of a war in, 1,000 years back. Now I just don't want to have that, all that pain within me. Is there a way that I can actually kind of get over it and, probably be present in this time or something like that?
So, for example, if you calculate the amount of pain you have in the whole life, imagine that whole pain comes to you at one go. Can you bear it?
No way.
No way. Similarly, the subconscious mind is so beautiful. These memories are suppressed because if all the memories come up, we go crazy. We start hallucinating, or we hear, oh, this is happening, that's happening. So one way these memories suppress have a reason behind it. Yeah, because
Hmm.
all of them come. For example, you want to see one picture on a file, on a folder, and some error happens, and all the pictures come up together. Will it be pleasant? No, you feel disturbed. Come on, close all these files. I don't
Yes.
want to open these files now. So that's how it works. So that's why in regression, we basically address one particular problem that's bothering a person in that point of time and
Hmm.
release a person from that trauma so that he can get rid of it. We are not trying to address all the lifetime, not necessary.
Hmm. Yeah, I see that. I see that. I mean, I can understand, because if I look back in, in my time itself, I can feel that, yeah, definitely one at a time is what is bothering, not everything at a time.
Yeah, see,
But
for example, you have a shoulder pain. Will you tell the doctor, no, scan every part of my body? I want to do every damn test, blood test on in my body. No, the doctor will say, don't do anything. You have a shoulder problem, just get an X-ray done and take this medicine, you'll be fine. No, 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 no,
yeah,
no. I want the whole body scan. I want every damn test available on the earth to be done. Come on.
and you know what? What a coincidence! I actually have the shoulder pain, so it's just a coincidence. The example that you have taken. So, but let me ask, right? When did you start this first regression therapy, and who did you treat recently, and can you share some experience?
So I started back in 2010, and since then, every day has been an experience because I do session almost every day, or at least 5 times a week, because I need to take care of the hospital work too. And every client is a teacher. Teachers give, wow, this is possible. This is what can happen. So this book, is one part of it. I would be actually able to write easily 10 volumes of books with the kind of stories people have told. Yeah. So there's a lot of material available. But when it goes into the book, you need to refine. You need to find out which one would resonate with maximum number of people.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely suggest the audience to go through the book. That is totally amazing. In fact, one of the things that you mentioned in the book, accept, let go, forgive. In a memory of any lifetime is a kind of true mantra to realization to manifest a happy life thereafter. I mean, that particular line has really touched me. Is it really possible?
So let me quote. Okay, for example, you're sitting in your house. Through a window, you notice a man dragging two little kids, 3 and 5-year-old, by shoulders, dragging them on the street. What will be your first response?
I would be thinking, man, this guy is crazy, and I wanted to stop him.
So there is anger,
Yeah.
okay, and there is an intent to do something. So what you do, you immediately step out of the house, you go down, and suddenly you notice a big furor there. There is a huge fire in the factory, and people are running, and his father is trying to save the lives of these two kids because they can't run. He's just running as fast as he can, and he's dragging them along. He doesn't mind they're getting abraded, the skin bruises, no, because life is more important at this juncture. Then what is your mindset?
So, man, I'm crazy. I did not see the whole picture. Let me go and help some other people.
So there are three things. One, you said acceptance.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you first accept because you've seen the whole picture now. Earlier, you were seeing only one part of it, correct?
Yeah.
Now, when you
Yeah.
see the whole picture, acceptance comes, and then you're able to let go of your anger.
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, you are furious. You wanted to just bang this guy and complain to police. But now you say, no, boss, you're the best father. You saved this kids' lives.
Hmm.
Yeah. So this is how it happens. Even in regression, I hold on because I'm not able to accept because I don't know the whole picture. And when
Hmm.
we give the whole picture, the acceptance comes. Then you're able to let go. And then
Hmm.
you're able to apply your willpower to move on. It becomes
Yeah.
easier.
Can it be really applied even for the negative situation that's really happening? Which means
Of course.
probably when we get the big picture.
See, for positive things, you don't need anything. It just goes on automatically. Only for negative things, you need to apply this. See, if you have a negative mindset, it's very difficult to apply it. That's when a person comes for help because he's not able to help himself or herself.
Yeah.
And that's why you need counseling or things to change the mindset. And once the mindset changes, the person changes completely.
Hmm. Yeah. Can you share any one of your experiences of treating the patient, patients with the regression therapy, and what kind of transformation they had?
Yeah, so there's so many examples. Would you like to be specific about any case that is physical or emotional, mental?
Most of the audience will connect with emotional things because it could be breakup, it could be so many other things. People mess up their minds with emotions. Maybe if you can share something related to an emotional thing.
Okay. So I had this lady who basically wanted to divorce her husband. She was very clear about it. She said, nothing doing, I cannot live with him for one moment. Yeah. And then when we go into a lifetime, again we find that she suffered terribly, okay, with the same person in that lifetime, again wife and husband. And she could relate how in the same lifetime, in this current lifetime, she's suffering the same way. In the past life, same thing happened. And then there is a self-pity thing. Oh, poor me. Why am I going through this again and again? And then when we go back into another lifetime, that's when we understand why she chose to suffer in the hands of this guy. Because in that lifetime, she was a merchant, and she was greedy, and she basically cheated this guy in business, and because of that this guy lost everything, and his whole family died out of hunger. And then after some time she comes to realize ki, because of a greed for money and power and ego, so many people died. And that's what she holds on at death. I'm the most horrible person. Now I need to suffer to repay the karma. So
Hmm.
then she incarnates to go through suffering and let go. And in this lifetime, also, she's going through it. So what we do is we make them understand, oh, this is what it is. Do you still want to hold on and suffer like this? No. And in a relationship, I always tell people, you need two to pull, one, two. The moment I leave, the second hand doesn't pull for long.
Yeah.
And within a week's time, she stopped pulling, she let go of it, and the husband automatically changed. And she realized that she was equally responsible for the disturbance in the relationship. So
Hmm.
what we can do with regression is we cannot change anybody else. The only thing you can do is change yourself. And when I change, the world changes with me. The environment around me changes. The people around me change.
Absolutely. I think this is true. True. I mean, like I was telling you, right? I mean, a few years back, I was totally a stubborn, logical guy. But the moment I changed, things have changed around me.
The universe
But
is
that brings
unfolding.
universe is totally unfolding, and I've shared with you some of my very, very unique experiences. All happened when I started accepting it. But let me ask, right? Again, I'm asking basically a question of same Rajesh, but 5 6 years back. Does karma really play a role in our life? Because after reading the book, your book, I feel that it really does. Can you kind of inspire us with your journey?
Yeah. See, the theory of karma, if you, it's very strong in Hinduism. We know, we acceptance comes. Okay, probably I did bad, that's why I'm suffering this. So acceptance comes, you let go of it. And of course, what we are going through today is what we created in the past. Why am I a certain person with certain characteristics, certain behavior, certain patterns? Is because it's influenced by my past. Some religions don't agree with it, and I completely understand, because there is a flip side to it wherein people start blaming everything on the past. Oh, come on, this fellow did this to me in the past, that's why I'm doing this. No, that doesn't work that way. So when you talk about karma, it's a deep subject. It's a very, very long subject. You can keep discussing on and on. But as I just gave you an example, this karmic connection that the lady was sharing with her husband, the moment she let go, karmic connection, she understood what karma she created in the past. She accepted it, and she's moving on. And now both are living happily.
Hmm. I mean, I think what you said is very important. I see even Madhumita just now mentioned that, right? It's something I've experienced without any help from therapists in past, which explains so many things about my life. I mean, I would encourage all the audience to maybe write down what is that one thing that you kind of got connected and see that, man, okay, I think, my karma is chasing me. So, but that brings me to a very important question here, Doctor. Can suicide and negativity also be thrown out of our life through this regression therapy?
See, suicide is basically a behavior where it's the peak of self harm.
Hmm.
Okay, so the people who hurt themselves, there are simple ways to hurt yourself. You may do silly things to get hurt, or you may just cut yourself, or you may create environment around you that you'll end up getting hurt. For example, you have a boss who's dominating, and you would do something silly to probably tease him, but then he comes to know and he fires you very badly. So that also is something called self-hurting behavior. So why do I want to hurt myself in such a way that I won't take the most precious thing that belongs to me? Because today, the most precious thing that I have today is my life. If I'm willing to take away the most precious thing that belongs to me, imagine in what kind of negative frame am I in. So there are so many reasons for suicide. So it's very important when you have suicidal thoughts to understand where it comes from, where it stems from, where are the roots of this, and to uproot it. So
Oh, which
definitely
means,
people. So definitely people who have suicidal thoughts, regression can help them.
oh, so you actually go back, literally find the root and cure them. Okay, this is really, really powerful.
So I had a
And I
teenager
want,
last month who wanted
Mhm.
to commit suicide. She attempted, but she failed. And when I dig up, I find out that she was bullied very badly.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they have a friends group and she was being bullied. She became the scapegoat and everybody started bullying her. And she said, I'm worthless. She started feeling worthless. Nobody wants me. I don't belong here. Why should I stay here? So let me end this life. And she had an environment which was toxic. Father, mother were always fighting. So she could not open up and share what she was going through. And she was penting up all those feelings. And when we dug up deeper, we found that when she was a kid, when she was young, and about 3 year old, mother and father were fighting, and mother mentions, just because of this little witch here, I'm still stuck with you. If I didn't have this witch, I would have kicked your ass long ago, and I walked away from your life. It's because of her I'm stuck with you, I'm suffering. So this child who's 3 year old, she's feeling I'm responsible for my parents fighting. I'm responsible for their suffering. I'm not needed. Even my own mother doesn't need me. She's ready to quit on me.
Hmm.
I'm useless. I'm not required. So that feeling stays inside. It keeps adding on, adding on, adding on, and then this friends do it. So she just takes, a step to end her life. So we had to resolve every part of this child, starting from 3 years and then all those things, to enable her to realize that it's not her fault.
Hmm.
It's very bad if somebody enjoys by hurting you, if somebody gets pleasure out of bullying you. They are mean people. They need to be, sorted out. And you don't need to hurt yourself for their meanness. Would you
Hmm.
like to end your life because they are mean? And would you even respect such people who enjoy, get pleasure out of hurting people? And that's what, was very important. And she completely turned around. So she doesn't get affected by bullying, and she's fully charged now.
This is such a powerful thing, and you're literally changing lives. It is so inspiring to know that, Dr. Natwar Sharma. And I mean, I want to also encourage audience to leave. If you have any questions, put it in the comment box. Maybe if you have enough time at the end, probably doctor will try to answer. But if you find any relevance, whether it is bullying or anything which is still going on, maybe it is a time for you to really kind of connect the dots, maybe even consult doctor. So, and there is another profound experience I had with meditation, but something runs in my mind. What is this really kind of mind? We talk about meditation. Now we are really talking about very interesting topic of regression therapy. All these things are really interconnected.
Of course they are. So, see, meditation is a tool to regulate your mind. Yeah. So, if you see, as a child, we would do the experiment taking a biconvex lens and trying to adjust the focal length to burn the paper. So there are sun rays everywhere. There is glass, but nothing is burning because all the rays are dispersed. But when you bring all the rays to focus and bring it to one point, you can achieve an objective. So when you meditate, you learn to regulate your mind and you can do your work efficiently. Whatever you focus on, you give your best to it.
Yeah.
That is one aspect of it. Second aspect of meditation is to connect with your inner self because your soul also needs some food. So I call meditation is the food for the soul to connect with your inner self, to connect with your higher self, to understand why are you here. Is just living like a robot enough, waking up morning, eating, sleeping, and just going on a holiday? Is this life? Is that the real purpose of human existence, or there is something beyond that? So meditation has a lot of benefits, not only diseases, prevention, mental stability, improving your focus, willpower, memory, concentration, but also understanding your true purpose of life.
And how
So,
is these two? Yeah, please go ahead.
so if you meditate regularly, if your mind is regulated with good meditation, you tend to prevent situations that affect you. So if I start meditating, if I'm regulating my mind, if I'm sane, I will not get affected by the toxic environment around me. I'll be more, balanced, and I don't create traumas to need regression in the future. So basically, meditation is like preventive medicine. Yeah,
Yeah.
and regression, regression is nothing but using one aspect of the mind, subconscious mind, to let go of the trauma. So basically, all are interconnected.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, the entire cycle seems really, really very interesting. But like you mentioned just now, right? You're really playing a powerful role between the mind itself, because, like you said about focusing everything. But one of the most important aspect is the way the thoughts come in. It becomes so difficult to control, right? Means that gives me an understanding after all this what you shared, right? Is it possible that if our thoughts can make us fall sick, they can also help us to heal? Is it really possible?
Yeah, so it's as simple as it. The way you use it. So doctors use a knife to cut open and treat to remove something that's affecting you. Okay, the same knife can be used to hurt you in a negative way. So see, mind is such a potent tool. So how I use it. So like Swami Vivekananda said, thoughts design your destiny. So when I meditate, if my thoughts are regulated, then of course, with the thoughts being regulated, my emotions are in balance. And once my emotions in balance, my energy is balanced, and my physical body, of course, will not get affected. So, for example, let me give you this example. So, if you are in business with a partner and you trust him so much, you basically tend to sign every document he says. You don't even check it. But after a year, you realize that this guy has taken all the property in his name, all the business in his name. And he says, just go out. What will be your thoughts? Will be negative. What happens to your emotion? You are angry, but you cannot do anything. You are helpless. And then you
Yeah.
start feeling sad emotionally. Then what happens? The energy goes down and you can't sleep. Whole night you're awake thinking and you have a headache in the morning. And you see, you get to hear a doorbell, you open the door, and this guy falls on your feet and says, "Sorry, I became greedy. These are the papers. Please take them away and take away all the profit. I don't want anything, but just forgive me." So, what will be your thoughts? Thoughts start changing positive. The emotions feel joy. Wow, all my life's earnings are back. When you're joyful, the energy goes up and you forget your headache. So what you
Yeah.
see in the physical body headache was created with a thought, negative thought, emotion, disturbing your energy body, and then the physical body started manifesting it. So
Hmm.
here we treat the fire. Smoke is in the physical body.
Hmm. Okay. So it's
We
literally
address
the
the
end
fire.
product.
Physical body is
Oh
the
my
end
God.
product, yeah. And
Yeah,
how
this is
long
very
it takes
interesting.
to sync from body to body depends on the individual. How fast it syncs from thoughts to physical body depends on individual, depends on situation, depends on the kind of experience, the intensity of trauma, the thresholds you have, a lot of factors.
Yeah. And Madhumita says would love to read the book. I would say Madhumita, just go ahead and pick up that book because it has got so many of what he shared, but in a much detailed manner. So I would definitely encourage you to go and read the book. And I mean, another interesting thing I realized. Do you think? Sorry, I don't say do you think, but how diabetes can be cured through this regression therapy?
So diabetes is basically broadly classifying two types, type 1, type 2. In the type 1, what actually happens, you tend to lose uh, the cells that manufacture the hormone insulin. And in those
Hmm.
cases, we don't have much of benefit. We just need to replace with insulin. The type 2 diabetes is mostly lifestyle related. The kind of
Hmm.
foods we eat today, the kind of lifestyle we live, we don't have physical activity, we overeat, we develop paunches and things like that. Having said this, there are some people who carry emotions, emotional trauma, which has been going on for long. For example, if I am obese, if I'm not able to lose weight, that means I don't care for myself. Because very clearly, if I lose the fat, my diabetes will be gone, type 2 diabetes will be gone. And everyone knows that. If I take care of my diet, so why am I not able to do something that's good for me? So then we need to find out, where does it come from? Why is that I'm not able to let go? Or what am I holding on? So I work 20 hours a day. I just sleep 4 hours. Why do I hurt myself so much? Why do I have to work 20 hours? Because if I don't sleep enough, of course it will cause diabetes, stress. So that's when regression helps. But
Oh, again, it's going
all
to the root.
diabetics don't need regression. If they follow simple lifestyle changes, yes, their diabetes can be definitely treatable and can be cured also. You can come off medication. There's so many examples today I can give that who have come off medication just by taking care of the diet and lifestyle.
Yeah. I- In fact, I think you've really, really simplified this particular answer, and basically just follow the right diet and only in the name of caring for themselves. But on the emotional side, if they're not able to do it, that is where the regression will come into the picture.
Yes.
And what about the cancer? Again, that has a similar line. Is it possible to cure?
So my experience with cancer is limited. So I don't have many cases, and most of them who came in the terminal stage, stage 4. So to actually speak about cancer, I don't have hardcore data where I can tell. But the existing clients who are treated, what actually happened in those cases is that they understood why they got cancer. They were able to accept, okay, this
Hmm.
is my creation, I created, I'll face it. Some people, they underwent chemotherapy, radiation, or surgery, they're doing fine. But some people who did not do, came the last stage, they died in peace with
Mm.
acceptance.
Yeah, acceptance. Yeah. So yeah, I think it can play a role over there as well. But in all these things, what you're explaining, I'm realizing it's all connected with healing our heart, especially when you're talking about like, acceptance and letting go. It all has to come from here, right? And that, I mean, that sounds like a very simple, but it is also equally very very complex. I just want to ask, how can we do it? As mind and heart seems like very different, but they still look like they're interconnected.
See, my research or my gut feeling tells me that the heart is the actual subconscious mind. Yeah. So
Heart
we
is the
need to,
subconscious.
yes,
Oh,
that's
okay.
my theory as of now. And if you read books, uh, Paul Pierce's The Heart's Code, you will know that how when the heart is transplanted to the person actually, can recall memories, that how the other person died, what happened to him, and all those things. Amazing book. So actually, every cell has the ability to create memory.
Hmm.
So which cells create the strongest memory is what matters. And to me, I feel the heart is just not a physical organ. The aura around the heart, like for example, today's world, there is so much data that can be transferred. You know, can you see the data being transferred? It's all
No.
waves. It's
Yeah.
all waves. So today, with the speed of this thing, oh, I downloaded a 500 GB file in 10 minutes, 500 GB of data. Now, this data, can I see it? No, it's all waves. Similarly, I feel there is an energy matrix around the heart, around us, that stores the memory in a
Hmm.
very subtle form or some kind of subliminal frequencies. Okay. And that's what matters. So every time we connect with a person, we say good hearted person or a kind hearted person. If they don't say kind brain, no. So I feel the brain is just the receiver, sort of, which can like a laptop, accessing that information. But all emotions mostly are stored in the heart. So I feel my gut feeling, and my theory I propose is, that heart is the actual subconscious mind. And my future research will be to prove this. Let's see how it goes. I have some experiments, lined up to be done.
I mean, I totally wish you a lot of success in this area, because if that becomes successful and that area is, the complexity is simplified, I'm sure the world will really become a very, very happy place. And, I'm really looking forward for that. But you audience, you tell what is, comment below saying, what is that one thing that comes to your mind? Just like Nina says, right? She also thinks heart is subconscious mind. What do you think? Because the more feedback that we get, in fact, it could be even helpful for Dr. Natwar Sharma's research as well. Um, can you read out maybe your favorite lines from your book?
Yeah, there's so many favorite lines.
That is a
But
tricky question. Of them.
yeah, so yeah, mind is a double-edged sword. That's my favorite quote. So if it can produce a disease, it can also cure you. So
Hmm.
it's the way you use it. This side, that side, depends on you. It's a very potent tool.
Yeah, yeah. I think that simple statement is really, really powerful. How skilled we are using that particular knife, which side we go, is almost decided. So this is really amazing. Can you also share what are your future plans and any specific message to the audience out there?
So one thing I realized after releasing the book is people messaging me or writing reviews saying that we read this chapter, we read this paragraph, we read this one line that changed our life. So I feel regression is not required for everyone. Some people just need one piece of advice. Some people just need to understand, okay, this is what happened to another person. Oh, let me learn from his mistake. This is the same pattern I'm going through. So why do I not follow the advice and let go? So people messaging, "Oh, doc, thank you so much for this one line. It changed my life." So I found that regression is done on a one-to-one basis. But if I can release more books, bring out more stories that resonate with people, it can help the masses.
Hmm. Yeah.
So definitely, I'm motivated to write more volumes. Hopefully, let's see how time takes it forward.
We are all behind you. We want you to really go ahead and write that book. And audience, Madhumita is asking, what is the name of the book? Madhumita, the name of the book is Metaphors of Memory. And probably if someone can keep it in the comments, it would be amazing. And I think there is a question here from Lance. If there is a chance that by accessing the past life through regression therapy, we may end up learning new skills from the past life. Is it really possible?
Okay. So if you see a past life, if you're seeing a particular past life, it's pertaining to the current problem that I'm going through. Correct? And once you understand that, it's resolved. New skills. I had a client who came to me with writing block. And this client told me, every time she wants to write the book, something stops her from doing it. No, she's not able to do it. And we went to a lifetime to resolve that she was a famous author in one of the lifetimes, and that her writing actually brought an end to her life in that lifetime. And that's why she's scared to even write. So that way, we can actually access the new skills. And after that, she finished writing her book and she could complete the book. So, yeah. And there are certain people who want to see a positive past life, a skilled past life where they were skilled to access that or to understand and to bring it into this life. That also happens.
So that's the answer, Lance. It's definitely possible based on what you are really looking for. Maybe you can reach out to Dr. Natwar Sharma or read the book first. That will be more, very interesting. And there is one more question, I think. I wonder what if I discover more, how it would impact my present life. Understanding just about one birth explains so many issues related to my health. So I wonder what if I discover more, how it would impact my present life.
Yeah. So to answer this, simple. So if you have shoulder problem, I'm just performing the surgery on the shoulder and getting rid of the problem. I'm not trying to open other parts of the body. Very clear about it. Plus, if something opens up, the therapist is supposed to resolve it completely because the mind is showing something. That means something is unfinished, something needs to be finished. And that's the beauty of the mind. So, as a therapist, if you open up something, please close it. If something opens up, it has a reason behind it, explore it, resolve it. So, once your session is over, you must feel calm and peaceful and secure. And that's why I follow up my clients, up to 6 months to see if something is unresolved, undone. And if that is there, then I do another session.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Like an onion, multiple layers. You peel one layer, second layer. We don't know how many layers are there. So, yeah.
So this is totally amazing, Dr. Natwar Sharma. I mean, before we really conclude this very, very interesting conversation, is there any message to the audience that you would like to give?
So what I suggest is, please bring meditation into your life so that you can regulate your mind, prevent complications, then start addressing when they come already. And understanding the karmic theory, acceptance has to come. Gratitude needs to be there. And when this is there, most of the problems are resolved.
Wonderful. Meditation and acceptance is the way that you can actually lead life a lot more happier, easier, and effortlessly. The message from Dr. Natwar Sharma. And Dr. Natwar Sharma, thank you so much for joining today and sharing all your amazing experience about your book, at the same time about the real experiences you had with so many of your clients. And audience, thank you so much for tuning in. And I can only say that go ahead and read the book, get all that knowledge from it, and apply in your real life. And if anything required, get in touch with the doctor or the Eternal Quest. I want to say a big thanks to each one of you for joining us. And I want to say thank you and thanks again, Dr. Natwar Sharma. And
Thank you so
bye.
much for hosting me. So I have website natwarsharma.com. So you have all the details on that website. So anybody who's interested in getting more information, it's all available. www.natwarsharma.com.
Wonderful. So there you go. You also have the links probably, which will be put also onto the comments. So thank you once again for spending all your valuable time with us, learning some of the important aspects of regression therapy. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, I think we need to leave the studio.